Hi, and welcome to episode 2 of the Marple Journal Podcast, a show all about amazing people and things going on in our local area. I'm Sophie Cook, your host, and today our guest is Samantha Derry, yoga and Pilates teacher, retreat host, creator of YogiCore and Mama YogiCore, and Wild Women Tribe. She's also a huge advocate for the mental wellbeing side of fitness. Welcome, Samantha, or say Sam, call you Samantha in here. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Sophie. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. I'm excited for you to be here. And we actually, just for the viewers and, the listeners, we had to swap sofas because Sam is in the same colour dress as this sofa. So she was blending in. It's like a floating head situation, wasn't it?
It was a bit.
It's fine. We're getting into it. So for all the people listening and watching, can you just explain a bit about yourself and what you do?
Yeah, so I'm Samantha. I'm wife, mummy to my little girl, she's 2. And as you say, a yoga and Pilates teacher. And I just love to help women with their health and fitness. So I do things both online and out in the community as well.
Yeah, brilliant. And we've worked together a bit in the past when the Marple Journal was just a news website doing Facebook Live videos, which was, the COVID times. But I know obviously quite a bit about what you do, but it's really exciting to be able to share it here. So in terms of obviously it being called the Marple Journal, what's your connection to Marple?
I live just down the road from Marple, not far, but I guess it started when I was a teenager. I went to Marple Hall School, so all my friends are from Marple. My husband's from Marple, so his family, but ultimately I started my business in Marple as well, so that was in 2018. I just think it's a great community and a great space to be able to share what I do. Yeah.
And what's your favourite thing about Marple?
I think that it's just full of life. Like, there's so many amazing people there, so many amazing businesses. Like, there's so much that you can do, and there's so many possibilities. I think from a business point of view as well, it's well populated. So if anyone is thinking of starting a business there, then you've got a good audience to come.
Yeah, and everyone knows everyone.
Yeah, exactly. And people share things with each other. It's a really friendly community.
Yeah, it is great. It's everyone knows everyone from my family. My auntie knows everyone in Marple. I'll mention someone and it's like, oh, I know them. I know the family. I know where they live. I'm like, okay. But that's the good things about Marple. Tell me a bit more about the classes that you run and your online business. Like, break that down a bit more.
Okay, well, it did start very differently to how it is now. So it was all prior to the pandemic. I was teaching loads of classes out in the community in local spaces. They were really busy, full classes. I was doing it pretty much full time. And then obviously the pandemic hit and it was like, right, okay, so you got a choice here. You can just do nothing and sort of feel sorry for myself that my business has come crashing down. Or actually, no, I'm gonna switch to straight online. So the moment that the Prime Minister came on and said, stop any kind of unnecessary socialising, I was like, right, we're going to stop doing the classes, guys. And so I did stop a week before the official lockdown.
Right, okay.
Because to me, it was so much more important, my customers, my clients' health. It was like, hang on, you could see where this was going. You could look across the continent and be like, no. So they're my priority, their health. So I did stop it a week before. So switched to online straight away. I did Facebook Live. We did yoga. I remember it in my living room with my little
I think
banner.
I joined that one, to be fair. I was just in my room doing it.
I know, I had a pop-up banner. I mean, myself was a bit more professional now, but I have a little studio. So I have, on that note, really grown the technology and I had really great help at the start with some good mentors to be able to set up the kit. And now most of my classes are online. So the Wild Women Tribe is this group of ladies. Most of them have been with me since the pandemic. And it's just so nice because they can choose to either do it live. So there is the Zoom option. However, there's also, as I'm Zooming, I'm also recording it as well on separate software. Yeah. So I'm maximising my time, basically. It's recorded and then you can do it yourself afterwards if you want to. Some people, they don't come to any lives. They just want to do the recordings, pick it up, do it, and they're done. Yeah,
so they've got the option of both. What was the reception like from your kind of current group that were coming to the face-to-face? Were they quite receptive? Obviously, during lockdown, it's hard to argue it because you had to do it. But how did they take that?
I think on the whole really positively, and a lot of them very quickly learnt the tech as well. And I think some didn't, and I understand, because some people want to go to a community class for the camaraderie. Maybe typically retired people might be like, just want to go to make friends.
That connection with people, isn't it? Yeah.
You still get that connection online. It's different, but you do still get it. And I think a lot of them massively were appreciative that I did do it, because as well as the classes during that time, I would do one half an hour a week or something. I can't remember. I called it afternoon tea. And basically, we just all came on Zoom and just had a chat. And, just because it was making that community, that sense of
100%.
community. And of course, we do all the classes as well.
Yeah.
I found it quite easy, dare I say. And business is kind of booming because no one could do anything else.
Yeah, that's it. It's like, you have to do this.
Yeah. I'm so proud of them though, because I was very much trying to get everything digital before that anyway. Because all my bookings were done through a booking system, which I was so grateful for, because when, just easy things like getting them to pay for their classes.
It's easier.
They knew how to do it already because they were used to doing it.
Yeah.
So it wasn't too bad of a transition.
Yeah, and you do face-to-face events now, don't you, with your retreats and things. So I guess that's a way to bring people together. Because you had one recently, didn't you, the other day?
I did. Oh my goodness, the retreats are sensational. The venue is amazing. And I've just brought on board my friend Martin Jensen. He's a fit pro as well. So yeah, the first retreat I did it all by myself.
But that's overwhelming.
I was so tired.
Yeah. You're like, I'm actually not feeling very re-energized.
It was just, I loved it. I had 20 guests, me and a chef. Thankfully, I didn't cook because...
You can't do that as well.
No. Anyone that came to the first Christmas party I hosted knows that I burnt the pizzas, so...
Like, don't let her cook.
Yeah. So this sounds like I'm going to bring Martin with me, and he just creates such a fun energy. And I feel like we just blend really nicely because he does the dance fitness. I do the more yoga, Pilates. It's like I'm the yin, he's the yang, and it creates this amazing weekend for people.
So just break down what the itinerary is for a retreat.
Okay, so you would arrive on the Friday. We do an opening ceremony, which it's not quite like a tribal thing. There's no dancing around and
bit concerned.
shaking leaves stuff. It's quite different to a normal, what I would call an ordinary retreat.
Yeah.
There are so many yoga retreats, which maybe it's about self-love or healing and deeper paths, which I am not knocking because they're great. But there's a lot of them, and I kind of wanted to tap into the market of opening a retreat up to a wider market. So if you're someone that wants to enjoy a retreat but doesn't necessarily want it to be a bit too... I don't know what word to use now. I don't know.
You just want it to be available to whoever wants to come. Basically.
More. It's not as niche. That's the word I'll use. It's not as niche.
Yeah.
It's not specifically about a certain thing. It's about you having fun. So we do the opening ceremony and we just go around and say what you're hoping to get out of the weekend. And a lot of people just come just to step away from everyday life.
Yeah.
Have a bit of a chill. Enjoy some fitness classes. The food is just incredible. Shell is our private chef. She's stunning. And so, they just want to get that escape from normal everyday life. And so in the evening, we have a really fun party fitness class. We have a meal. And then we tend to have drinks in the evening, just chill and chat, which is nice for connection.
Yeah.
And then the Saturday's the full day. So again, we'll do breakfast, classes, lunch. Then there's free time. And then you can have your more classes and then the evening meal. But in between that, you can use the house facilities. So there's a hot tub, a sauna and things.
Nice.
Yeah.
You'll find me in the hot tub for the whole weekend.
You have to fire it up though with actual fire.
Oh, it's a wood-fired hot tub.
Yeah. Which it did take a while this time.
Yeah, but then they get too hot sometimes as well because you've thrown loads of wood on and you're it's freezing, and then all of a sudden you're boiling.
So we have pictures of Martin's legs which are burnt.
Oh God, that's not selling it.
No,
don't worry, you won't get burnt in the hot tub.
No, don't worry, I can pull it back because I have now arranged with the house manager that he's going to preheat it before we go.
That's a much better.
So don't worry, if you're going to come on the next retreat, the hot tub will be just fine.
I love it. No, it sounds brilliant. It ticks a lot of boxes.
Yeah.
You get to connect. It's a,
Exactly.
a relaxing trip, but also if you want to get involved in the fitness side of it, you can as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So that sounds great. What I wanted to ask is how you feel your work now has kind of changed your life and changed your path, I guess.
Well, massively, really. I think I used to work in aviation for about a decade. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I worked in the airport, and then I also worked in a contact centre. So I've done a bit of passenger services, customer services. And I just kind of got to that point where I'd done what I wanted to do there. My favourite role was a trainer, which was bringing in the new staff and existing staff, actually, with training them with updates and customer service. So I did learn a lot there that I could bring to my current role. But I don't know, if anyone's sort of stuck in a job that's thinking, this is just not making me happy anymore, then I don't advocate quitting without, immediate effect. But I did quit with immediate effect.
Right. Works for some people.
Because I had a plan.
Yeah.
And that plan was to go self-employed and then become a fitness instructor, because I'd already been doing my qualifications and teaching alongside working full-time in aviation. So it has massively changed my life because I can fit the classes around my life to a certain degree. Obviously, people want to do classes when they can come to them. Yeah,
that's true.
So, but with the recorded ones now, it's amazing that I can fit it around my family life as well, like with my little girl too.
Yeah, so talking about that, being a mom and balancing work and building a business and being self-employed, how difficult is it to balance all of that?
It is really hard, but I do have to say that I am really lucky that my husband is a great support and can help take care of us at the moment. And that suits us because while she's so little, I think I'm really fortunate that I can do the work that I love to do and just do enough that I'm keeping it going and that I'm enjoying it and it's making a little bit. And that when she then is of probably preschool age, school age, then I'll do more.
Yeah.
So, and again, I could fit that around term times and things, especially with recording classes as well.
Yeah, you've made it quite flexible to fit around.
Yeah.
And also for people that are taking the classes, they don't have to do, this is the only time you've got, or this is the only one you can do, because it's online, they could watch the pre-recorded ones whenever will work for them, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So your fitness options break down. We've got YogiCore, is that what it's called? I'm learning all these terms. Break down what each kind of fitness class and offering you have.
Yeah. You can be forgiven for learning that term because it is a brand that I've created myself.
There we go. It's a new thing.
Yeah, it's a new thing. Well, yoga and Pilates, yoga's been around for centuries. And I teach Pilates as well. That actually came out, I think it was early 1900s, Joseph Pilates was around. So that's quite modern, isn't it, compared to yoga?
Yeah, a little bit.
I won't bore you with the history of Joseph. I just realised I was going to start telling you all about him. I was like, no one wants to hear
hold
that.
on, back to you.
Yeah, I think most people have an idea of what yoga and Pilates are, maybe. I don't know. With the yoga that I teach, so if you come to one of my classes, it's quite chilled, it's slow, so it's not like a fast, like vinyasa or ashtanga, for example, if you're familiar with those terms, where you're moving from pose to pose quite quickly and creating heat. I do a lot more slower poses, which sometimes is harder because you've got to hold them.
That's true.
But restful poses as well.
Yeah.
And it's nice that you have that, the mental health side of it with yoga, with the meditation and the breathing as well, the breath work. So all the classes we'll be doing some kind of something for the mind as well, which is great. So the YogiCore, as I say, it's a brand that I created myself with the help of my friend, I have to say. She's a designer at the graphic designer for the BBC, Rachel. Yeah, she's great. And between us, I came up with the concept, she came up with the logos. So YogiCore is a blend of yoga and Pilates fused together. And it's in a workout class. So you wouldn't be doing breathing and meditation in that. You would just simply be combining the benefits of the stretching, the strength from yoga with the core and the posture side of Pilates, basically. And we use music, which massively makes a difference.
Definitely.
I don't know if you like music.
You have to have,
but it gives you a bit more of an oomph, doesn't it?
Well, even with normal yoga, like having some kind of soft songs in the background or like a bit of a chant thing going on, it really gets you into the zone, doesn't it? So it sounds really good. I'll have to try YogiCore. So I know you mentioned you do quite a lot of pre and postnatal classes. So you focus on like to be mums or just mums, you know what I mean? New mums.
Or third time mums,
There we go. New mums. Why are you so passionate about that?
I guess because I've recently been through it myself. However, I did want to do it for years and years. So there's a long time that I've been wanting to teach pre and postnatal classes, and I qualified a long time ago. The reason I didn't start doing it until I was pregnant is because we went through some fertility issues ourselves. So the last thing I wanted was to be in a room full of pregnant women or women with new babies.
Yeah, makes sense.
So I did put it off for a long time. But then we were lucky. After a couple of rounds of IVF, we had our beautiful baby girl and again a bit emotional, which I don't normally cry. So, I just felt like it is so important because it's such a massive thing that women go through. And a lot of time you might think of exercise as looking a certain way or being a certain way, but it actually during pregnancy, it can help alleviate symptoms. It can help get baby in the optimal fetal position. And it's really nice when I get messages off mums like after they've given birth and they'll say, oh, like the breath work that we did, the breathing exercises, like it really helped me get through it. And I'm just wow. That's amazing because what they're doing, birthing a child, is just like fantastic.
Yeah.
And even having just help in the smallest possible way.
And know you're having that impact.
How magical is that?
So going through the fertility issues and IVF and things, I mean, it must have been really tough. How did that impact your mental well-being?
Hugely. I think it does stem back all the way back from when I was working in aviation, those last few years there. I was feeling a bit stuck. I wasn't sort of moving or progressing anymore where I wanted to there, and I wasn't having a family here. And it's that sensation, anyone that's sort of been through a depression, basically, I went through depression, I've been through it a couple of times, and it's that sensation of feeling stuck. I've lost my train of thought, sorry.
No, it's okay. So it did impact you a lot, you know, with going through those fertility issues and IVF, you know, how did that impact you and your mental well-being?
Yeah. Well, it did. I did go through depression because I wasn't having the family that I wanted. And, you know, we went for tests like most people do if you've been trying a while and it's not happening. And they said, yeah, there's nothing wrong with you. I'll put in inverted commas there. There was nothing that they could find with myself or my husband that would explain why it wasn't happening. It just wasn't happening. And that went on for quite a long time. So we did a round of IVF with the NHS, and I had a miscarriage during that. And then we then decided to go private, and then the second embryo is now my beautiful baby girl, Yara.
That's amazing.
But yeah, it takes its toll on you, definitely.
Yeah. So do you think what you went through and kind of your struggles with mental health influenced you to focus on mental well-being within fitness?
Yeah, I mean, it must have. It has to have had, because I think we all each bring our experiences to what we do, which is a positive thing. I think it's not necessarily the main focus that people see on the front of the face of it, but I am conscious when I'm doing it that that's how I can help guide people as well. Some people might just want to come for a workout, and that's okay.
Well, that's okay, because it's open to everyone, whatever you're going through, you know, and also you never know what people are going through.
You really don't.
So creating a space that's safe if they want to, you know, talk to you about anything or seek guidance is an option. But then also if someone just wants to come and do yoga and or YogiCore and leave, like that is also fine. I was going to say as well, with things like mental health and kind of fertility issues and what you've been through, it's just not really spoken about. Like, did you find when you were going through it, did you shy away from talking to people about it?
Massively. I almost felt ashamed. It's like I'm a woman, that's my job, as like in nature. Like lions can do it, zebras looking at your skirt.
Lions,
you know, like
zebras.
it's nature's role. That's the circle of life. I love Disney. That's another topic. So like, why can I not contribute to this circle of life? Why can't I do that? This is what my body is supposed to do, and it's not doing it. It's not easy.
And then if you were to speak out and talk to people and seek help, which I'm sure you did at some point, in that moment you realise you're not alone, and you would have probably dealt with the situation maybe a bit better.
Perhaps. I think a lot of people don't talk about it, and it does need to be spoken about more. And I think there's a lot to be said that I'm talking about it now I've got my baby, because a lot of people won't talk about it when they're going through it.
That's true.
I couldn't have done it whilst I was going through it the first time. Second time, I changed my mindset and I did talk about it because I'd been through that depression, and I thought, I can't keep going this way. So I decided to really go for, I was having acupuncture, I was doing yoga, I was doing meditation. I went for cognitive behavioural therapy, like saw a counsellor about it all. She was amazing. And I just did it differently. And I thought, I'm going to speak to my ladies about this and tell them. So I told my Wild Women tribe online, and they were so supportive. And I was just like, wow. I kind of thought, not that I had to, but I thought it would explain why I wasn't doing a class that morning because I was off having a scan or whatever. I was at the fertility clinic. And I thought, let's just tell them. And I did, and they were so supportive. And then they go, oh, my grandson was conceived through IVF. Oh, right, excuse me, sorry. Like, so then you're like, oh, right, there's more people that are going through this. It
allows people to open up, and if you're vulnerable, I find this with loads of things, if you're vulnerable with something or someone, they feel they can open up to you about it, and then you can help each other. Whereas if no one ever says anything, you're all just dealing with all these things.
Exactly, and you think it's just you, but something that was really telling, say to you and to everybody, is that when we went for the IVF round with the NHS, they put us together with all these other couples in this, I think it was like a university for doctors.
Right.
It was almost like, I never went to uni, so I'm not sure. But just say, imagine like everybody's like having a lecture. It was like a huge lecture theatre full of couples that were having fertility issues. And this was years ago. Like, and they had a projector screen up with all the statistics and things. And Craig was like, just look around, like all these people, like it's not just us.
Yeah.
But everyone was so quiet and not talking to each other because it was almost like a shame thing that we were like.
And then it being in a lecture style thing is a bit odd. Maybe the like meaning behind it was positive. But like you're like, oh, we're not alone, but also we can't really converse about it. Because we're sat in a lecture, but.
It might be because it was pre-pandemic and it was the quickest way to get all those couples educated on things. Whereas when we did it with the private clinic, they just sent us some videos through the app. So, you know.
Ideal. What advice then would you give to someone, you know, knowing what you've been through, that's maybe in that period of their life where they're struggling with fertility issues?
I think definitely speak to the closest people around you. Open up. It's hard and it's scary, but talk to a professional as well. I think there's no shame in doing that because they can help you so much. I think sometimes they can make you realise things you don't realise yourself.
So true.
Yeah.
So your classes are all about bringing the community together.
Yeah.
Can you talk me through a bit of an example of how it's brought community together? I know you mentioned it before, or like a specific person that's really benefited.
Yeah, I think when touching on communities, there's a few different communities that I have created. You know, initially when it was all community-based classes, it was a sense of like, you know, I'd put on Christmas parties and everyone would come to the parties. People have made friendships that they might not necessarily have made had they have not come to the classes that I'd hosted. I think with the pre and postnatal, it's definitely more important than ever to have that community, because when you're going through such a massive stage in your woman's life, to have people around you that are going through it at the same time of you is massively beneficial. So if you come to any of the classes, I'll put you in a WhatsApp group and you'll be in there with all the other mums that have attended those classes. And like just last week, they went in the group and like, oh, should we go for a coffee after class? I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Which is just amazing. Like, how lovely is that?
It's like the simple things, but it creates that sense of community for people that maybe don't have people they can just grab a coffee with, or
exactly.
maybe they're a bit lonely, and that creates that safe space for them.
Yeah, but even not just that, you might have loads of friends, loads of family, they've all had children, but they've been there and they've done it, and you forget as your children get older, and sure people will relate to that. You kind of forget the little things that happen in what week did they do this and what week did they do that.
Yeah.
Whereas if you've got someone that's going through it at the same time as you, then you can relate a lot better.
Yeah.
And it's like a nice support network.
So obviously, as someone who's set up her own business, you know, a self-employed person, you've quit your job, just set off on your own. What tips would you give to someone wanting to start their own business?
I think plan. Because you need to have a plan. And there's no point just floundering. If you're going to do something, then do it. So find out what the competition is in the area or in your field, if it's online or global. Like, find out what the other people are doing and find out what your strengths are and see where you can find the gap or what the niche is. What are your strengths and how you can help your audience. I think I had to work out how many classes that I would need to teach and how many people in those classes as to how much I would make.
Yeah.
And then how much is that going to pay the bills, you know?
Yeah.
Is it going to pay them? And also a time frame. So give yourself a time frame to be able to hit those goals, because it doesn't just happen like overnight.
Do you think even though COVID was such a difficult time, it actually helped your business blossom so much, which it maybe wouldn't have gone down that path?
Yeah, definitely. I think the whole pandemic in general has just fast forwarded the world probably about 10 years in terms of technology. I think I was dabbling a little bit with online stuff before that. So I had my own YouTube channel, probably had about 5 videos on, which were terrible. But I also did pre-record some classes that I put in a Facebook group for people at the Christmas before the pandemic. So I was dabbling a little bit with it. And a few people bit and took the bait, not took the bait, it's the wrong phrase, but like decided that they wanted to do it.
Yeah.
And so the pandemic, obviously, it gave people no choice. We had to move online. And I like the phrase that you say, how it blossomed and changed into something else.
Just came up with that.
It kind of did. It turned it. And I think I was ready for that.
Yeah.
And I think the people were ready for it as well, because no matter like what stage in the life like you're in, like, and it's all for women in my classes, as we said, like, you can fit those classes around your lifestyle. So whether you're working full time, there's ladies that do it just before they start work at home. There's another lady I know, she does it in the evening once the kids have gone to bed.
Yeah.
And then there are some retired ladies that like to do it live because you know, they're there in the daytime. Yeah, so you can do a nice mix, and it's definitely helps it, because people have had to learn the technology. They didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
And now they do have a choice, which is great. And there's pros and cons to both, which I like. So you can pick and choose basically what works for you.
So what's one piece of advice you would give to someone feeling uninspired in their fitness and health journey?
I think, like, find your why. Like, why do you think you want to embark on a fitness and health journey? Because if you're feeling a little bit down and like it's unattainable, like, why are you thinking of starting it? Is it because you perhaps have a family, have you got children, grandchildren, and you want to be around to see them grow and see like their milestones and actually be able to physically play with them as well as you get older? Or maybe it's you're a menopausal woman, postmenopausal, and you've got all these symptoms, and we know now there's plenty of science around the fact that exercise helps reduce your menopausal symptoms massively. Also can stop things like osteoporosis and things when you do strength training. So we do lightweight work. And then, or maybe you're pre and postnatal and you want to take care of baby in your tummy and make sure your body is on the right path for basically the good recovery after birth as well, because that's a massive thing. So whatever your why is, like, find a reason why you want to do it, and that'll give you like the motivation and the direction to be able to embark on that journey.
Yeah, brilliant. So linking it back to the Marple Journal, obviously, if someone was to find your journal, what is the one thing you'd want them to read?
Would want them to read. None of it.
Burn it.
I think something that I've learned in life is to make sure that you just don't worry about what other people think. You've just got to go for it. And there's so many limiting beliefs that we put on ourselves, and you just have to get out there and put yourself out there. It's hard. Like, I know, like having an online business, so many people, they don't even show their faces. Like, and I think it's so important to do that. I know, like, so we get a bit camera shy and oh, do I look like this? Do I look like that? But get out there, put your face. People want to see you. They want to hear your voice. People buy from people at the end of the day.
Very true.
But like, I think just in general, don't let those limiting beliefs stop you in life. Like, think about following your heart, following what feels right for you.
I love it. So that is all my questions, but how can people find you? How can they get involved?
Yeah, the best way is just to head to samanthaderry.com. But if you want to find me on socials, it's Samantha Derry. And
it's an easy one.
Easy peasy.
Samantha Derry.
Samantha Derry.
Follow, get involved, try out a fitness class, try out some YogiCore.
Yeah.
Why not? Thank you so much, Samantha. It was great to chat to you. Thank you for being on the Marple Journal. Very exciting. And thank you everyone for listening and watching wherever you are. I hope you can take something positive from this episode, or hopefully many things that are positive. Or you can share it with a friend or family member. Maybe there's a business in Marple that you think would benefit from hearing about this, hearing about Samantha's story. Or maybe you've got a family member going through something similar. Share it, pass it on, send it to someone that would benefit. If you enjoyed it and you want to hear more, if you're on Spotify, make sure to follow, rate and save the episodes. Also click that notification bell if you'd like to be notified when another episode comes out. If you're on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, do all of those things. And you can follow us on socials. It's the Marple Journal Podcast on Instagram, or it's the Marple Journal on Facebook. You can always drop us a message with any interest you'd like to hear about on the Marple Journal. To get involved or to be a guest, you can email us the Marple Journal. I'm saying the Marple Journal a lot. marplejournal@outlook.com. I'd love to hear from you, and I will see you here again for our next episode. Thank you so much. Bye bye now.